Alrighty then. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, and welcome, one and all. My name's Michael. I'm the Dead Aussie Gamer, and welcome to Pathfinder 2nd Edition Pray for Death, our Pathfinder 2nd Edition adventure featuring these wonderful and amazing people. Guys, say hello to the folks at home.
Good morning.
Hello.
It's so good to see you guys.
Good afternoon.
Now, I think the most important thing I need to ask right now, right this second, is Rondak,
Yes.
are you pleased with your character token?
Yes, I love him.
Excellent, wonderful. Because we've not seen maskless Rondak before, and after the sort of farewell to the very dear friend of Rondak's and the removal of the mask, I wanted to like make sure it was portrayed well. So I'm glad you enjoy it. It's because this is the first time you've seen it now in thing, So yeah, I'm glad you enjoy it. I do need to fix something, but that's okay. I will fix it later. Anyway, before we kick off on today's adventure, guys, as always, we want to take a quick chance to thank our sponsors. We have several of them. First of all, Hero Forge for the wonderful artwork you can see on stream. In this specific case, Rondak. Look. Ta-da! You can see our dear friend Rondak on stream. Is there a... Okay. I'm just trying to figure out how to get that token away from your ear, that's all. Oh, what if I move you here? There. Done. Anyway, weird. Anyway, Hero Forge is an amazing 3D model making software that allows you to create bespoke 3D printable models that are designed based on your characters and your heroes, much like I've done with Rondak, and they ship all around the world, so go and check that out. That is absolutely amazing. We have Sirenscape for the wonderful sound effects and immersive music you will be hearing for today. It is one of the most robust bit of kit that you can use for telling your stories and immersing your players, so go and check that out as well. And then Fantasy Grounds for our virtual tabletop that you can see behind me, where we connect all of our players across the world in order to come and play this amazing game. No, we don't have a Callie today. No, OG. But that's okay because we love Callie and we wish her all the best and cannot wait for her to join us at the table again. Now, as always, guys, for those of you who don't know what the hell we're doing or why we're doing it, we are a tabletop role-playing game live stream. We are a group of storytellers who are going to be embarking on a quest and on a tale set in the Pathfinder world of Galarian. I, as the titular game master, am the narrator, the storyteller. I play out the roles of the obstacles and challenges as well as the NPCs the group encounters, whereas my players take on the role of their characters and protagonists to said adventure as they embark on their epic tale. Now, of course, no good game is without these amazing people to be at the center of the story. So who better to tell you about it than my players themselves? So I'm going to turn the ball over to my players to tell you who they are and what they're going to be playing for today's game, starting with none other than our wonderful and amazing friend McBluff, playing the role of Pietro.
Hi, Dak. How are you today?
I'm well, thank you. How are you?
I'm doing alright.
Good.
Pietro is a Dhampir swashbuckler who, at the current moment, is perhaps less on the path of revenge towards Akachek and the Red Mantis as some of his compatriots are, but he is ready to support his friends in whatever they decide to do. Currently, we're on our way back to our homeland, and strange things are happening on the ship, and there's feeling perhaps a little close to home for Pietro.
Fantastic. Next up, playing the role of the Hobgoblin Rondak, we have none other than our amazing friend Lucas, aka Mr. Game and Art.
Hello. Yes, I'm Lucas. I play Rondak. He's a hobgoblin alchemist bomber. Well, he focuses on the bombing. He can do other things, but that's what he focuses on. That's his real passion because of his hobgoblin upbringing. He's a scientist first and foremost, but his science is applied to war and killing, and that's what he does. So he's found a way to do that and make a pretty damn good living at it.
Nice. Love that. Und then we have none other than the wonderful and amazing Balsam, played by our dear friend Matt from All Things Fantasy.
Good morning. Yes, I play Balsam, the blood sorcerer. He uses his blood, your blood, all blood to cast his magics. He is a great, happy little adventurer who loves exploring new places, meeting new people, slaughtering them in gruesome ways, and he's currently on a quest to take down the Red Mantis assassins because they betrayed him. He's feeling angry about it.
How angry?
This angry.
Nice.
But there is room to grow.
Amazing. Always leave yourself room to grow. All right, and last but certainly not least, playing the role of Kailu, the elven archer, is none other than the one, the only Cookie Man Steve.
I mean, after that intro, I don't need to say anything. I'm Steve,
Hi,
playing
Steve.
Kailu. Hello. Enjoying the first kind of full day of summer here.
Nice.
It actually decided to be nice at the end of the day.
Amazing.
And Kailu is, having fun, trying to, find out who betrayed them and exact revenge for that minor little detail.
That's true, that's true. But more on that story in just a moment. Now, of course, we do have one more player who is not here today, and that is, of course, our dear friend Calindria. She's in chat, so, hi, Callie. We wish you all the best and hope to see you soon. But this character, Meg, is a Tanuki gunslinger that they play, who is the first mate to the ship that our heroes are currently using to get to their, their headquarters, basically. But, yes, that is our group, that is our team, that is who we have. Real quick, while we're doing the next bit of the intro, Steve, can I get you to just double check your Zoom call to make sure that you don't have auto volume adjust on, just because you're kind of going up and down in terms of volume on my end. If it's already not doing the auto adjust, then you're fine. I will figure it out, but yeah, just double check that first.
Yeah,
okay.
It's off.
It's off? Good. Fantastic. Okay. Now, we have one last person to thank, and that is, of course, you, our lovely audience members. Guys, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for giving us your time, your energy, your effort. Thank you for coming out to just watch us be silly and do dumb things. But it goes without say that one of the big important things to me is to make sure that you guys feel as much a part of this game as we who are playing it. So we invite you to come behind the GM screen in order to influence the game while we are playing and while we're doing cool stuff. First of all, just by watching the show, you earn channel points for your account that you can use at any point in time to influence the game. Inspiration, wandering monsters, wandering bosses, divine interventions, divine healing, and much more. All of these cool things influence the game while we play. And subscribers, you earn channel points a little quicker. So if you want to subscribe to the channel, then hey, feel free to. If you don't want to, hey, that's okay. But yeah, then of course we have some more tangible effects for monetary donations, who are people who are just donating to the channel and to the chat while we are doing stuff. These all go towards the Dag of Holding. What is the Dag of Holding, you ask? Well, because we've reached our monthly survival check and Dag can now afford his rent, the Dag of Holding is a very special reward that every $100 that we make goes towards my players on that table, where the group will be provided a special rare magic item that I have been using, or something that is relevant to the games that I play off stream. So things that you guys will never see, the things that have just happened in real life. And it comes with a little story about this item, the game that I was involved with, whether I was a player or a DM. And they're like really cute little unique amazing things that help me connect my online stories to the stories that I tell at home. So every $100 we do that, and whichever table gets the Dag of Holding, they are the ones who acquire it. We did get a Dag of Holding for 7 Dooms of Sandpoint, but we unfortunately the stream cut out before we could hand it over, so that's coming up next week. So yeah, we're back to this week's Dag of Holding, which is the next 100. All right, monetary donations. First of all, for $5 you can donate for either a red mark for a player or a purple mark for me. The player marks are hero points that can be used to stave off death, petition the DM for stuff that isn't in the rules, or roll with advantage. Jinx points can be used to counteract hero points, make bad guys roll with advantage, or complicate things ever so slightly. For $10, I have 2 decks of cards in front of me. The first deck is a deck of Heroic actions, which I can provide to a player of your choosing. It is a free action that gives them a superpower as well as a spare emergency hero point. The other $10 reward is a draw from the deck of plot twists, which we already have a $10 donation from our dear friend Schooly Eye, who I imagine standard random plot twist. So we give this plot twist deck a shuffle. I then draw out a random card. Boom! Childhood lesson. Interesting there. Childhood lesson. So that becomes the plot twist that I then need to implement in today's session. So yeah, this just allows me to keep myself on my toes as a storyteller and as an improv artist. So yeah, childhood lesson. Okay, interesting story. Okay. We'll see what we can do. For $20, you can give someone the coveted golden natural 20, which serves as a natural 20, a critical success in the field of whatever the fuck they want to do, because sometimes you just need shit to work and you don't need to dick around with stuff. So yeah, natural 20s, that's how they go. Then, of course, we have our $50 donation. There are 3 rewards available at the $50 tier. First is a boss buff, increasing the difficulty of a challenge by a great and intense margin. This could be changing the parameters of victory, making the boss even harder. This could be adding a complication, changing the terrain. A whole bunch of stuff could happen there. So so there you go. Oh, is it Vatari's birthday? Happy birthday! Happy birthday! Who knows if it's early or if it's late, but happy birthday nonetheless. Enjoy. What was I saying? Yes, the second $50 reward is, of course, a magic item, so you can provide a magic item to a player of your choice. This can be a homebrew item you design. This could be an item that you would like me to provide them as part of a character set items that I'm giving to people. Or you can use that $50, or you can provide them a magic item from their wish list, so things that they've already, like, preemptively gone, I want to have this, that you can give them that. Then, of course, the third and final $50 tier reward is a draw from the Harrow deck, a mystical tarot reading that will provide a prophecy for our heroes. Either our heroes will embrace that prophecy or reject it, and if they do so, they will get a critical success on whatever they wish to do in regards to the prophecy. Plus, they will get a group buff based on whichever statistic that card happens to represent. So if it's a strength-based card, then all strength rolls get a d6 extra on top of whatever they roll. Plus, once per scene, they will get to re-roll any strength-based check. You know, so whatever stat they've got, they'll get those bonuses as well for the duration of the game. Okay, and then lastly, we have our $100 secret menu item. What is our secret menu item, you ask? Well, that's a good question. Our heroes are currently aboard a vessel bound for the Medogalti Isles, the home of the infamous Red Mantis assassin. Upon the way, there is indeed something which is lurking aboard the ship and is victimizing the poor crew. This obviously poses many threats, aside from the fact that there may not be enough crew to get our heroes to the Medogalti Isle should people keep dying. But our heroes also need to find the culprit because, you know, hey, they could be next. Who knows? So the secret menu item for today is going to be quite simply this. It is going to be a stowaway. And the stowaway is going to be your character. You design a person, a character, whether they are friend or foe, who is stowed away upon Helena's vessel. And you can decide to what purpose they have. Maybe they've come with a dire warning. Perhaps they have a grudge that they wish to exact upon a character of your choice. Perhaps they simply wished to set out to sea and hope to be a pirate. Maybe they themselves want to be a Red Mantis assassin, and seeing a number of Red Mantis assassins joining the group, you've decided to you know, put them to try and go and do this thing. Whatever the case, whatever the plot, whatever the reason, the secret menu item is, of course, going to be your own addition to the adventure. And it can be a little adventure or it can be a big adventure. Depends on what you decide. Also, Steven probably is just wondering why everyone has left him in Port Peril. But we don't need to worry about that. So, you know, there you go. Oh, yeah, Jilted Lover. You know, like maybe Helena's present boyfriend who wasn't aware that Kailu and Helena were sailing off together and snuck aboard the ship. And maybe he's like one of those like super artsy people, you know, he's like, you know, Yeah, like, like he's an actual, like, entrepreneur and stuff. He's, like, not adventurous at all, and he's, like, doing something to, like, show her that he can also be, like, Kylo, be, like, tough and brash and stuff. It's like, I could be manly. I don't know, who knows. Either way. Anyway, whatever the decision, whatever you decide to do, that's the $100 secret menu item. Good. Fantastic. Done. Can this reward be claimed multiple times? I'm going to say no, just because putting one character in is going to be hard enough. I'll tell you what, if we get a second, I will allow you to add an animal companion to the mix. So there you go. An animal has stowed away. So we have a person who's stowed away, then we have an animal who's stowed away. Unless you prefer the animal, then sure, why not? All right. Guys, are we ready?
Actually, I'm kind of interested in like this rom-com situation we have with Kylo and Helena.
I mean, you're not wrong. I mean, it is pretty interesting. I'd sit here and listen to it. Screw going to the Meta Galactica. I'll fuck the freaking Red Mantis. All right. Without any further ado, our story continues. On the southern side of the Garundian continent, heading now out to see our heroes, former members of the infamous Red Mantis Assassins, now head back to their headquarters. After being framed for an incorrect contract being exacted on a man named Aldorf Blade something. Fuck, forgot his name. Anyway, Aldorf. Our heroes were blacklisted by the Red Mantis, being told that they had betrayed the order, that they had forsaken their oath, and that now the Red Mantis had to take them out instead. Being hunted and being chased, our heroes decided that they weren't going to sit idle, that they were going to bring a measure of revenge to those who had decided to use them as scapegoats for whatever nefarious plot they had against the order that they had once truly loved. Gathering their steel, they allied with several pirates in the shackle city known as Port Peril, and after negotiating with the free captain and Kylu's former lover, Helena, they've acquired a ship to take them there. But things are not as it seems. After the first night of travel upon the ocean, our heroes had noticed that things were a bit amiss. There was an air of distrust, not just around Kylu, but around the rest of the members of our team. Meg, our newest member to the group, who was also serving and acting first mate upon the vessel, was informed of someone having sabotaged the cannons aboard the ship. The struts having been cut clean through, causing the cannons to potentially roll around and injure those had it not been caught in time. She quickly made her way to Helena to tell her of this. But in short course, tragedy struck. Two sailors who had who had basically, told Meg about the cannon, were found dead. The cause of death, mysterious and unknown, but hopefully with a secret necromantic technique. Balsam, our blood sorcerer, called upon the spirits of the two deceased in front of the crew in order to try and get to the bottom of what had happened. Now, the crew is a superstitious lot, and seeing the ghostly visage of their two dead comrades suddenly appearing before them, there is a whisper, a murmur of necromancer, black magic, or dark magic. There is, definitely a lot of sour looks as well, as the ghosts do not come back, looking very happy. They obviously look quite pained and sorrowful and the like. Now, for the purposes of this, as I love the creativity of this, your spell only traditionally gives you 3 questions. However, for no extra cost at all, I'm going to say, because of how fresh the death is, you can bring back both ghosts and each ghost will get 3 questions. So you have 6 questions in total. All right. So. Did you see that?
Balsam
He brought back
looks-
a ghost.
Yes, Balsam looks at these ghostly apparitions.
All right.
So I have 3 questions, right?
Yes, you do. Well, 6 questions. Oh, wait, sorry. 1 moment. Hold on. I do the thing. Give me a second. I have a thing. Hold on. Oh, yeah. Do I have a thing? Nope. Oh yeah, this will do. Okay, hold on. No. Oh God, why? Well, it should be. Ah, there we go. Okay. Cool.
Ghost tag.
Ghost tag. Ooh, I am ghost tag now. There we go. Ha. See, I'm a fucking professional. All right. Anyway, as the ghosts, you ask, do you have 3 questions? They say, we have 3 questions each. Although now, technically speaking, I have 2 questions and he has 3.
So tell me, these 2 here were you? You are the 2 spirits that died this morning here?
I am not both spirits. I'm just that one. He's the other one.
Okay. And can you tell me if who killed you?
I could, yes. And then he disappears.
Oh, damn it. That was a wasted question.
the other ghost.
Balsam, you know better than this.
That was fucking terrifying. He disappeared, he did. Holy
All
shit.
right.
Yeah.
All right. Get in the zone, Balsam. You got this. All right.
You can
Oh, mighty spirit, point to the one who killed you.
That's technically not a question.
Oh.
You can, Balsam, you can just ask who killed you.
Oh, right. Good idea. Thanks, Pietro. Always got my back.
Always.
Mighty spirit, tell me the name of that one who killed you.
I do not know their name.
Damn it.
That those give us information.
Can you describe them?
No.
All right, guys, I got 1 question left.
I have one idea for a question, but ask yours first. Mine, take precedent.
Do you have a suggestion? I'm running out of ideas here, guys.
You could ask if they were told to do this to themselves.
That's a bit dark, don't you think, Pietro?
Could ask what immediate events led to their death.
Oh, that's a great idea, Rhonda. Thank you.
Sorry, I get a bit morbid sometimes.
No, it's fine. It's not like you can go up to someone and say, "Hey, how did you kill? Did you kill yourself?" It's not a question that you ask in polite society.
Do I look like a member of polite society? And he's asking that specifically
Yes.
very much out of your shot of
Yes, you do.
The ghost says. The ghost says.
Dag,
The ghost
you
says
look
yes
out of
and
your shot.
disappears.
No!
Don't do this to me, Dag. I clarified before you responded.
You're allowed to clarify. It doesn't mean the ghost is gonna listen. No.
The ghost can't hear me.
Okay, go on. Also, hi, Rock.
All right, so Rondek, tell me exactly how you would ask the question, but make it as a form of a statement.
You want it as a statement, not a question?
Well, unless you want to write it down, I can read it.
Oh, that I got you because you don't want them to answer me.
Yeah.
Just have them describe to you the events immediately leading to their death.
All right. Great Spirit, tell me
I'm all right.
tell me the do the thing. Tell me the events that led up to your death.
Not a question.
Tell me up to your death.
Still not a question. Just because you changed your inflection just makes you Irish.
Can you please tell us?
What are the events that led to your death? Thanks, Goliath. Thanks, Family ID. True hero, right there.
Well, I can't remember their names, but I'm just gonna call it Jericho and John. This is Jericho. John was the other one.
Yeah.
Well, John and I had just told Meg about the cannons. Told us to secure the cannons. So we went to get rope. Well, John went to get rope. He didn't come back for a little while, so I went to go and check on him. He was collapsed over by the barrels. Next thing I know, I went to go check on him, but something tightened around my throat. I couldn't breathe. I started choking. I felt some pressure being pushed down on me. I tried to struggle, but I couldn't break free. Next thing I know, darkness enveloped me. There was nothing there. It was almost as if the air was being pulled out of me. And then he goes, "Hooray," and disappears. All right.
There you go, Meg. Someone came up behind them, at least to Jericho here, tightened a rope around their neck, and took them perhaps up there.
Helena tells Meg to double the watch. Nope. There we go. Helena, captain of the ship, turns to our heroes. Look, I don't know what all this means, but until we sort this out, you and your traveling companions are my charge to make sure that we get to our destination. Leave this task to us. We are going to investigate this. And you, the masked one, no more magic aboard this ship. Am I clear? The last thing I need is for crewmen to get the wrong idea about the cargo we're shipping. You hear me?
Of course, Captain, as you say.
Okay. All right, Meg, show them to their quarters and get on it. Meg asks about, whether or not they're still to be watched. Helena thinks for a moment and says, "No, I want you investigating what happened here with Jericho and John yourself. And I want you four to stay in your quarters. Do I make myself clear?"
Yes, ma'am.
She then yells at the crew, "Well, what are you all looking at? Get back to work!" And you watch as the crew then shuffle down. It's a lot quieter than the jovial crew that you had dealt with before. New eyes of distrust seem to fall upon you as they begin their work, continuing. Several of them now have, sort of prepared the bodies for a burial at sea as you are brought back to your quarters. The sound of the ship and the creaking from all around you is the company you see as you enter your quarters. A single porthole that leads outwards, just sort of on one of the sides of the windows, and 2 racks of bunks on either side of this room, along with a writing table by the porthole, and some footlockers beneath the sleeping bunks, is what you have for sleeping quarters.
Something doesn't seem right. Well, the whole situation, of course, isn't right. But remember that they were choked out, but there were no marks of choking on their person.
The spirit said it felt like something was taking the air, not that it was just choking. If we had more freedom on the ship, I would ask about whatever superstitions the men have about elementals, but...
There's a knock on the door.
Yes, come in.
The door opens, and in comes the cabin boy. He has several trays of what looks to be oatmeal and an assortment of fruit and nuts served for, I think it's kind of like breakfast-ish kind of time. So, this is like kind of breakfast. Pardon the intrusion. Just thought I'd bring your meals up.
Oh, thank you, young man.
Oh, not at all. Shall I just... They gestured if they can come in and put them on the table. Put these on the table.
Yes, go right ahead.
He enters in. This individual is a human boy, brunette, kind of bit dirty and very, very thin. He unpacks the several plates and cutlery and stuff like that, as well as provides a big jug of what looks to be like kind of orange juice or some sort of juice. He then quickly sort of like takes the tray that he's brought all the stuff in and then just sort of prepares to hurry away.
Oh, no, before you go, please wait a moment.
Yeah?
Have you had anything to eat yourself?
Oh, I'll be eating with the crew in just a moment.
Good. Would you mind if I asked you something, young boy?
No. I don't mind, sorry. No, I don't mind.
Right, do not worry. I sense that the men here, well, everyone on this ship, are quite superstitious. Have you heard any rumors going around about what they are thinking?
I don't know if I should, it might not be my place to... Make a diplomacy check for me, please, as he nervously fumbles around a few words.
Can do. 35.
Oh, wow. Okay, yeah, with a 35. It's probably not my place to say, but the crew is... the crew is definitely... nervous about your presence here on the ship. Well, specifically, some of you more than others. He says, looking over at Balsham and Kylu.
Balsam is currently drinking juice from a straw.
Is it a mess?
Yeah, because the straw gets underneath the mask.
Yeah, that's fair.
I am so sorry. Know that we do not mean any of you any harm, I assure you. We are trying to figure out what happened as much as any of you. It would be no good if all of us are dead before we reach Metagalti Isles.
Well, look, I don't want to say nothing, but are you... You're in the industry of death. And a lot of people think that... You were very...
There he is! Get him!
Get him, Steve! Get him!
Oh, that's just
Alright. You are in the
Get him,
business...
Steve! Get him!
You are in the
Somebody
business
clip
of
that,
death.
For God's sake.
IT
dude, please.
You're in the business of death. And the crew believe that death follows you. Not death as in the conceptual idea, but this child has become very eloquent. But he speaks of death as like actual death. A reaper of sorts is following you because of your occupation. And that we're just victims of this aura of death that surrounds a reaper that you guys have brought onto the ship. They say that the invisible force, that kind of thing that they couldn't sense, that was, that's likely what it was. The hand of death just wrapping around their necks, which is why they killed themselves.
Young man, I am so sorry we have caused such fear in your friends. You are correct. We do work in the business of death, but I do not... If it is true that we bring the Reaper themselves with us, then it is our job to find them. And I promise you, we will do our best.
Thank you. You realize the child is also quite believing of these rumors and wants to get the fuck out of this room before death finds this child. A seagull lands on your windowsill, and as it caws, it suddenly just like coughs and dies.
You are on alone now. Thank you for the food.
Is that seagull dead? Oh God! He runs away.
No. No.
Balsam's like, emergency blood pack.
What if I do?
Okay. Well,
I'll turn back to the party. Nice young man.
You continue to hear the workings of the crew up on the deck. Their footsteps clambering back and forth, and nothing seems to be out of the ordinary for the time being. But, enjoying your meal and the like, you kind of realize you being confined to quarters is not for your protection. You can kind of get the impression, like, the walls are quite thin, and you can definitely hear people talking about how even some of the crew are like, maybe we should just, like, dump them in the ocean and just say that we put them on the island. No one will know the difference. There's a few things, you just kind of hear. But they're usually stopped by either Meg or, other crewmen who are just like, belay that. If you, say that sort of stuff again, we're going to rip your tongue out, stuff like this. Pirate talk, yar. A couple hours do pass, so you're getting closer to kind of like midday. And you're starting to feel a little restless.
What I would do to have my workshop.
I don't think that would be helping the rumors, Paulson.
No, you're right, it wouldn't, but I do kind of miss it. My fingers are itching. See, Rondak over there has the right idea.
What wonderful, terrible things is Rondak making?
He's just tinkering. He's got several things laid out, just tinkering on a variety of clockwork-looking mechanisms.
As Rondak is tinkering on his mechanisms, you find that you've misplaced a particular tool. Quickly looking through the footlocker, you accidentally open one of the ones that you guys haven't looked at yet. As you do so, within you see a very unique pair of gloves.
He's definitely going to pick them up and take a look at them.
Well, one size fits all is definitely part of it, but you see that on each of the fingertips is what looks to be a different rune that is designed in the shape of an eye. One has sort of an angular design, one has a sort of spirally design, one has kind of like almost an occultish design, one has like kind of like almost like this like sort of very regal design, whereas one seems to kind of almost be clawed in with like a nail or a file or something as opposed to being carved. Each of these fingers, and your thumb of course, have like the different metals to it.
Am I able to identify any of these runes?
No, not at all.
Interesting. Very interesting. I think I'm going to hold on to these.
You want to try them out?
Sure, why not? Let's do it.
You place the gloves on. They're very cozy. You see that they're matching gloves, so only one hand has the metal bits with the runes on it. The other does as well, and they kind of match the same symbols to each finger and thumb.
Interesting. He's gonna examine both of them, and then he will experimentally touch each index finger to one another.
Okay, as you do so, nothing seems to... Oh, actually, no. Okay, so let's start with... So there are 5 functions of these gloves. One is to read the history of the previous owner that you touch. The second is as an X-ray to see through or into an object being touched. The third is to read any magical presences in the things that they've touched. The fourth is to read into any control or external forces influencing something that is touched. And last is the ability to identify any curses, plagues, ailments, that kind of thing. So those are the different functions. It depends on whichever finger you touch the thing that you're touching first. So if you touch with, say, the carved out, one that's like looks like it's been scratched, it'll reveal curses first. So your pinky first, then touch with the rest of your hand, and then it'll go, this is a list of curses and poisons and stuff on it, yada, yada, yada. So this is our Dag of Holding item. This item actually was something created as a makeshift detect spell for a group of adventurers that I ran when I was early in my game. I thought it was just ridiculous that, every wizard had to get a detect magic spell, and every, druid kind of, well, why would you get detect poison as a spell? Because how often are you going to deal with that? So I designed these gloves as a catch-all kind of thing. The religion one used to be the detect alignment thing. So basically, it is a pair of gloves that are able to detect stuff. So yeah, we gave them little things like they were X-rays, so you can like look on the other side of doors or scan for traps or things like that. You could use the thing to basically also investigate the last person who owned or possessed something. So it was kind of like almost like a speak with dead, but for like objects and the things that you do with that. So yeah, that was that's what you have acquired, Rondak.
Very nice.
And I'm going to give them a name. They didn't have a name previously, but I'm going to call them the
gloves of acumen?
Ooh, I like that. That's a good one. The Acumenicon. They are magic items known as the Acumenicon. They allow you to detect these different things.
I like it.
Cool. All right, done. Now, as for your investigation, is there anything you would like to do? Or are you happy obeying Helena and chilling out? Gloves of Nethys. Oh, that's true. I like I like the Gloves of Nethys too. Gloves of Nethys is really good.
Oh, that's cool. I like that. I think Pietro will turn to the group and just say, "Alright, I can tell we are all restless and probably very much want to get out of this room.
We wanna get out of this place."
I am curious if there is someone specifically trying to sow this distrust, but either way, we're not going to get much done in this room. Even though leaving might feed into it, I think at some point we should go out to investigate on our own.
Much as I hate to say it, I'm not going to go out until we get permission, or I get permission. I think I'm on thin enough ground as it is without giving Helena further excuses.
Same here. I think I'd have to keep a low profile for the rest of the day. Raising up a couple of ghosts is not a great and then going out and talking to people is probably not a great idea for me. However, Pietro, I'm pretty sure you can go out and do stuff. Maybe you too, Rondak. You haven't gotten into any trouble yet.
I love that. I love how that's the goal. It's like you haven't gotten into trouble yet.
You want to get into trouble now?
It's true. And I'm very sneaky, so.
That is true. However, I think the terms of the confinement were pretty all-consuming. But if you think we have a chance, we could go out and investigate, stay close, and feign ignorance. But I
Ask.
trust your judgment if you wish to stay in here.
Perhaps you could ask if you know, as I said, I'm not going to do it until told, but if somebody asks and she says yes, then I certainly wouldn't mind getting some fresh air. I do not think I should be the one to ask, though, because I'm pretty darn sure that the answer would automatically be no.
I imagine so.
Well, if they do require our help, they know where to find us. But like I said, Pietro and Rondak, you would probably have the you'd probably be able to get away with being outside more than Kylo or I.
Still, doing my best to test our luck. If you think we are best in here, then I will stay in here.
I am actually curious about what they're transporting.
I could
Besides
go down
us?
Besides us.
Well,
But that's just a morbid
You-
curiosity.
Well, you would know that there is a hold to the ship, and it's not too far away from where you are. Probably about maybe like 10 meters, give or take, just down, and then down a flight of stairs into the lower kind of carriage area.
I think that might be a good idea. Usually cargo is a very good place to check. But I do not think it is simple superstition that is causing this specter of death. If you think, perhaps yes, Rondak and I can go down and investigate the cargo hold. Try to avoid notice, or do you think we should just go blatantly? I imagine going without notice would be best.
Then definitely don't take me. My skills are not suited for going without notice. I don't know if you know this or not, but I'm quite bombastic. I seem to draw attention from everyone.
They call me Mr. Bombastic. Bombastic.
Yes, we've noticed. Very impressive. Alright, well, Rondak, what do you think? Do we go and slunk our way into the cargo hold?
Sure, why not? I'm good with it.
All right.
I think
Also,
it's
real quick,
Yeah.
Dag,
Yeah.
can I use these gloves to finally figure out what this locket does that I found way back before we killed Ordulf? Do you remember the locket? Because I have it written down.
I do remember the locket, yes.
But Rondak doesn't know what it does. I do, but he doesn't.
Yeah, I'd allow it. I will, in fact, allow you to run that scene if you would like to tell us what the, how Rondak goes about it, if you'd like.
Okay, sure.
All right.
So Rondak will pack up all of his bits of metal and things that he'd been tinkering with, put them away in his pouch. And as he's standing up to get ready to go, he'll feel the locket sort of under his clothing rub against his skin and remember suddenly that it's there, having not really paid much attention to it since they left Ordulf's area, because they were wanted for treason, I guess is the best way to describe that. But realizing that it's there and having these new gloves in hand or on hand, as it were, he's going to go ahead and touch. I assume it would be probably the middle finger together. Would it be? Yeah, I think the middle.
Mm-hmm.
I think it looks like it would be the middles, and then grab hold of the locket to try to figure out what exactly this thing is.
Immediately, you begin to recognize the mechanisms behind the locket itself. It seems as though it requires a sacrifice of blood in order to open. There is a small point that, if you twist the top of the locket, creates a tiny spike, like no bigger than a pin, that would take the blood required to open the locket.
Interesting. So yeah, he'll go ahead and twist that to find the spike. And then he's going to take the blood, not from his finger, I guess, unless it would go through the fabric without a problem. I don't know. But he will prick a part of exposed skin just to see what happens. He's a very curious individual.
As you do so, the blood pours into it, and as it does, the locket flares up. It opens. And what was the effect of the locket again?
It was the ability to look 6 seconds into the future.
All right. Inside the locket, you see an image of you and Pietro leaving the room. A few moments later, it snaps shut.
Huh. That's interesting. Very interesting. So he's going to keep that at the ready, and then when he and Pietro actually get to the door, he's going to do it again to see what happens.
A question: does he have to prick his finger each time, or can it remain open?
Each time. So it'll give a prophecy for that 6 seconds. Now, the effectiveness of this is, even though we're looking at it in the future, it's going to be a retroactive thing. So this effectively will allow you to trade 1d6 hit points for a reroll with a cooldown.
Oh, okay.
It
Cool.
can't be used in combat, but it can be used in situations like, say, for example, you're checking for traps, right? If you're checking for traps and you fail and a trap goes off, you could say, can I use the locket? And then what happens is you take the d6 damage, and then the locket snaps shut, and then that was a vision, not what actually happened.
Okay, cool.
Make sense?
I really
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah. So it's kind of like it's a forward, backward kind of storytelling element.
I got you.
All right. So, Rondek and Pietro, you leave Balsam and Kailu behind, which is probably for the best, as always. As you do so, Balsam and Kailu, I would like the two of you, just in our group chat, to discuss what the two of you would be talking about while the others are exploring and investigating. We'll come back to, obviously, that discussion later, but I want you guys just to do this in the background for a little bit. Now, Pietro, like Rondak, you see Pietro leave in exactly the same fashion you saw in the locket. As the two of you leave, you begin to head down this flight of stairs into the kind of like the bilge area. There is a strange and sort of soggy, almost like gamey sort of smell that seems to come from down here. As you begin your exploration, there are a great number of chests and crates that seem to have been tied to the walls here. A number of rolled up, like you can see kind of like silks and textiles have been placed like kind of high up on these crates and tied together to keep them away from any kind of moisture as best as they can. You can see that there's a wide variety of food as well as repair supplies placed around the area. And Pietro, something just smells off to you. You can't put your finger on it. It's incredibly familiar, incredibly irritating.
Stay close. Something about this feels familiar, and that is probably not a good sign from me.
Familiar how? Can you place it?
An irritating smell.
You remember in your childhood,
Plot twist.
we take our road back to when you were training, your noble house and your noble family teaching you all manner of skills, swordsmanship, dining, conversational socializations, and many more. As you were being taught how to eat and perceive, meals, having your own acquired taste required you to be able to eat among people while at the same time disguising not consuming food at the same time. Your tutor and instructor by the name of Belloc showed you, for pasta dishes, you want to make sure that, with the fork, with one hand, you swirl the pasta. And as you converse, gesture with the non-pronged end of your fork. As you do so, it gives you the impression as though you are gathering food for consumption, but each time you gesture, you pull the fork out of the food, which then requires you to then reacquire more pasta. In this way, you can continue a conversation going while giving the illusion of eating. Then, when they're not suspecting, simply pull the prong out and place the napkin over the food to show that you have eaten. As you are discussing this, that smell, that same smell, this irritating smell that vexes you. And now your greatest challenge. As lifting up the tray, the waiter who had brought out this next dish brings out garlic bread.
The duality of Pietro. He is Dampier, but he is also asexual. What can he do?
I feel like there's a reference I'm not getting on that one, but
Oh, sorry.
no, it's fine. I'm like, it's garlic bread. Is that a term? I don't know.
I'll explain later, but...
Okay. Back into the present time, you now realize what that irritating and vexing smell is.
Garlic. Says Geronda. Look,
I'm sorry, what was that? I missed that.
garlic.
Garlic. Oh, but I like garlic. Garlic's delicious.
But those...
You can't smell it, Rondak. It is really faint.
I got you.
Yeah.
It is not generally favored by people of my lineage.
I guess that's fair. To each their own.
Is it usually this potent whenever garlic's around? Like whenever if he's just in a kitchen and there's garlic, is it this bad or is it weirdly potent?
It is weirdly potent.
I generally quite dislike this smell, but something about this is far too strong for it to just be cargo.
Can I get the both of you to make me perception checks, please?
Oh, sorry.
Okay. Not bad. Finally, vile demon. I have you right where I need you.
Oh dear.
A voice comes from around you. You do not see its presence anywhere on the deck. Oh, sorry, in this room, but you hear it coming from all around you. I was hoping to catch you alone, or at least with that vile fiend Kailu in your company. Who would have thought that miserable sod, in addition to selling his soul to that blood god, would ally himself with scum like you?
Why do you not come out and make yourself known, friend?
I am no friend, fiend. I am your end.
Pietro kind of... He knows that he's already the target, but still stands a bit defensively in front of Rondak. I understand I am your target. But would you happen to be responsible for the death of those two men?
I have no quarry with the crew of Helena. She is a dear friend to me, and has many times pulled me from fires far greater than you would ever understand. I would never do her harm, but I owe her much. So much that I could not sit idle and abide the presence of not only one of her accursed former companions, but also a child of darkness like yourself.
I mean, Miss Elena, no harm, but you do know that harming me would only cause strife for her, yes?
Of course. That's why I was waiting, biding my time. And now that you're alone, you will simply be a disappearance. An accursed fiend returned to the darkness from whence they came, and I am sorry that your friend has to also disappear.
What's the cargo around us?
Immediately, you have a lot of repair work, so stuff for maintaining and repairing the vessel.
Okay. Takes a chance and looks back towards the entrance to this to the cargo hold, seeing if Rondak can at least make a break for it.
There is a straight shot, but it is quite a run. So because you guys have kind of pushed your way to the forward of the ship, it'd require a bit of a trek.
Okay. I am sorry to say you will not be meeting your quarry today. Rondak.
Yes.
I think we should make our leave.
I think that's a damn fine idea.
All right, the two of you can roll initiative.
Do we roll it?
Pardon?
Do we roll it?
I'll roll it in the chat. It's fine. All right. Meanwhile, Balsam and Kylo.
Balsam chuckles. I didn't mean actual flowers. It's just like something nice, you know? Something that she'll appreciate.
Yeah, I don't know. It feels more like what she'd appreciate is me bound, tied, and dropped over the side of the boat.
No,
with a rock tied to me.
Kyler. Kyler, it seems to me, out of all my experience watching the two of you, it's she didn't get the closure she was after. It looks like to me that whatever you did, whatever happened, she's still not over it. I mean, look at the prow of her ship, right? Something is. You need to take responsibility for something, the thing that you've done, and the only way you can do that is through an honest conversation.
Yeah, I don't disagree. The problem is I honestly don't know how to break through the hate. Feels absolutely hateful to have that conversation.
Did you see her the way I saw her at a manor, Kyler? When you said those words, she stopped. She paused. And it made her reconsider something. I don't think it's hate. Yes, it could be anger. Yes, it could be hate. Yes, it could be anger, but I don't think it's hate.
Maybe. That would be helpful.
And what's the worst that's going to
Great
happen?
at reading her. Huh. Worst that happens, she tries to kill me.
The two of you suddenly hear a commotion. Two, in fact. One from on the deck, and one from what you think could be below deck. Below deck, you hear sort of like a hastening, sort of a running kind of noise that seems to come from underneath. On the top, you hear people murmuring, talking.
Can we tell what they're saying?
No, they are very intensely trying to keep, like, super quiet.
Balsam pokes his head out the door.
The people that were down here are no longer.
Hey, Kyler, we might have a situation. Priorities. Rondek and Pietro are downstairs, and it sounds like there's someone running downstairs. I feel like they might need our help. That seems the more important than some quiet whispering. What do you think?
Yeah, that sounds. I don't know what would make them run. That means they probably need help. Certainly can't hurt.
I haven't heard any explosions. Oh no, is Rondek okay?
Even Rondak, I don't think would let an explosion off below decks on a ship.
I don't
That's
know.
pretty much a way to get. Well, only if he could blow a hole right through the top to get out. Rondak doesn't like to sink. Rondak doesn't like the water that much, as I recall.
Is that so? Huh, I never knew that.
Pretty sure.
Anyway, let's go home regardless.
Sounds good. Lead on.
To do so.
Or do you want me to go? Or do you want me to go first?
I mean, no, it's fine. I'll take the brunt of it. It'll be fine.
So downstairs?
Downstairs.
Yep.
All right, fantastic. Okay, I will throw you guys into initiative as well. Okay. Get that music going again. Brilliant. What level are you guys? 15?
Oh.
Yeah.
Yes.
I hate it when you ask that.
I know.
Can we say 20 and do some quick level ups?
Oh, yeah, sure, no worries. You can level up after this session, but I'll treat this guy as
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, Dag, I see that Balsam and I are still wounded from our last fight 3 weeks ago or 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, what a shame you haven't recovered. I mean, it's pretty nasty, those wounds that you have. Yeah, okay, you can recover. It's fine.
That probably explains why I have like all my level 5 spells has still been spent. We haven't had a rest, have we?
You have.
Okay.
Okay, just bear with me for 2 seconds. Brilliant. Cool. Okay. So, first of all, thank you to OG Lava Kitten for this stowaway character story arc. I'm just going to put everyone on the board here just so that we can see where they are. Okay. Kailu, Pietro, Rondak, and Balsam. Okay. So yes, thank you OG Lava Kitten for the secret menu item. The character in question was a fanatically loyal person to Helena who loathes anything related to vampires or the undead. He snuck aboard because they don't trust Pietro, and they are so fanatical they also despise Kailu as well, but are willing to work out anything. But yes, as long as it's something to strike the fancy. So yes, we have an undead hunter, who is this character here.
Ooh, they look cool.
Thank you. There we go. And again, Hero Forge. Amazing things to be made at a moment's notice. So, there we go. Hope you guys enjoy that. Let me just...
Is that a semi-automatic crossbow?
Maybe. What? Weird. That's so strange. You'd think.
That looks like a magazine fed dangerous device.
What? Garlic tipped silver bolted arrows? I mean, what are we talking about here? How weird. How strange. Okay. There we go. All right. So first of all, let's give you guys a proper rest. So there you go. You guys have got your rest done. And then we've got our initiative. Boom. Okay. Oh, by the way, OG, I do need a name for this character still. So if you want to give him a name, you are welcome and invited to do so. Unless you want to, feel the audience members and see if there's a name that comes out. All right. First and foremost. Oh, dang. Okay, cool. So, searching gaze. He begins by looking over you and immediately, through one cast of his ability, ascertains everything on both Rondak and Pietro's person. He then readies an action with his crossbow drawn. Now, he's still hidden because he hasn't done anything, but he is just analyzing you for the time being. Kailu, you make your way across the bottom of the deck. That's going to be one action. And when you get down, Pietro, you can see at the end of the bilge where you guys are, where everything is. You watch as Kailu is coming down the flight of stairs. You and Rondak can both react with free actions to speak as you see Kailu coming down. Kailu, this is one action for you to get down here.
So this is my second action, or is it still my first action? Oh, silence wizard.
This is your second action if you want to do anything other than going down.
I mean, I'm looking for what the problem is.
Well, yeah, that's
what's
why
going on.
we're giving Rondak and Pietro a chance to tell you something. If they don't want to tell you anything, then you're just going to go down there and just find out the hard way.
I just have to wait. Can we go ahead?
Yeah.
Like, no, we're not gonna tell him. You know what? It's gonna be funny.
Hey, look, I set it up. I did. I feel like I gave the opportunity.
Right. Kailu, friend of Elena does not like you, nor does he like me. Proceed with caution.
Where is he?
Would love to know. I heard crossbow.
Huh. Okay, so I'm assuming I can't see him. I mean, we don't have a map or anything, so
Oh, right. Let me share that map with you then. This is just so you can see stuff. I would say that he is somewhere hidden. Rondak and Balsam, you guys are kind of like over here, and Kailu, you've just like come down from the back. So it's about this big,
Okay. Still loading in, but that's okay.
Yeah.
So we're below decks. It's probably not clear. I don't know if I've got... Is this perception good enough to see him? I mean, I know he's a hunting type thing. How jammed up is the hold? Like, what kind of line of sights are we looking at?
There's a lot of cover around the place.
I guess what I'm thinking is that just from a practical perspective, he's probably not. Longbows are not typically that easy to use inside this kind of thing, so I think he's probably drawn his sword as he was coming down the stairs rather than. Certainly, as soon as he heard Pietro say that, if he hadn't had it out, he would have it.
Sure.
He's miles away from that though, so it's basically I'm going to be trying to spot the, you know, I don't think there's.
Yeah, make a perception check.
I can move. Okay. Perception. That's done. So where's the line?
Okay. I have a name, Wolfston Greville. I love that.
37.
That's a great one. 37. Ooh, actually, that's pretty good. Give me 2 shakes. 28, 30. Oh, 38. You were 1 off.
Oh. Can I hero point that, please?
Yeah, go on.
Just for giggles.
All right, let's do it.
Oh, jeez. Nope, the dice don't want me to know. So,
You totally could have just added 4, right?
No, that was in
Okay,
first edition. Second edition, there's no +4.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All
I
right.
just get to reroll.
So, unfortunately, that does not make it. You do know that there is someone here.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm gonna give you an extra bonus because you are a sniper specific. You do see that there is some cover that there is very little line of sight to. So while you can't see where he is, I'm gonna say that with that perception check, you can identify a few places that it is safe for you to go to. Because if he's got a line on you, you will be able to figure out where he is from that.
Okay. Do you want to move me, or shall I move me on that?
I'll move.
I'll continue.
Yeah, cool. So if you're going to there, so move down, search, take cover. Okay. From here, he absolutely does not have line of sight on you.
Okay.
Okay.
The other thing too, perfect, good, because I also am automatically extra stealth.
Nice,
because
perfect.
of one of those feats.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, he has got no line on you. Rondak, you are up next.
And I have no idea where this guy is, right?
Not presently. You can search for him.
All right. I will. First thing Rondak is going to do, he's going to pull an orb out of his pouch. This one does not appear explosive. There's no emanating colors from it or anything like that. And then I will search with the orb in hand.
Ooh, okay. Make a perception check.
Alrighty.
Also, by the way, thank you to Callie for the natural 20 and hero point for Balsam to top Balsam up. All the loves. Mwah.
38.
38. All right, with a 38, you absolutely find him. Weirdly enough, he is on the top of one of the textile piles. That's why he's more difficult to see, as he has used his robes to kind of like conceal himself among the textiles. He does have a line on both you and you and Pietro, quite clearly, and he seems to have a crossbow aimed in your direction.
Sweet. Love that. Okay. So I have one action left, right?
Yeah.
I would like to toss the orb that I have on me at him and attempt to hit him with it. And it is, let me find it in my formula book real quick. Gotta find the right one. I have too many things in here. Oh my god.
Now, he does potentially get a reaction depending on what you're using, because his readied action was to interrupt, well, I say interrupt stuff, quote unquote.
Yeah. So it is a Oh, I just had it, and then I lost it. Where did it go? Shit. I literally just found it. Oh my god. Ah, Tanglefoot bag. That's the one.
No, he will not counter that one. All right, make your attack against him.
So he has to roll.
Oh, reflex save?
Yes. Yeah.
All right. As you grab your bag filled with a variety of chemicals, you hurl it as it explodes in this sticky mass. Let's see if he can dodge it. Ooh, the 28. I don't think that'll do it.
Where do I get that from? What
Your
is
class
it?
DC.
Class DC. Where is that?
Well,
I'm
let
looking.
me tell you. If you look on your character sheet under combat,
Yep.
on the
I'm there.
left-hand side, CDC is your class DC.
CDC.
Spell class proficiency. It's over here.
Oh, there it is. 34.
Yep. So yes, a 28 will not do it. Not critical fail, but it is still a failure as the ick webbing sort of sprays out. He becomes entangled.
And then now, I believe, we should make our exit.
Okay. As you do so, we're going to move you to here. Now, are you going to try and take cover at the same time?
Yes, especially with that nasty-looking crossbow.
Okay. He is not going to attack you on this one.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, he's not gonna, because you're not one of his primary targets, and you're not. I mean, no offense, you're not a good hostage either.
I mean, that's fair. Yeah.
Yeah. So I feel like it'd be a wasted arrow. Balsam.
I'll just keep myself between him and Pietro from now on.
Oh yeah. That's a much more dangerous idea. Okay.
True.
Balsam, who I've put on the wrong side of the deck. There we go.
That's fine. Balsam
very
comes
protective
down
of
the
each other.
stairs and he's like, all right, what's the matter? Where's the running coming from? Is everything okay? Is everyone all right? Are you okay? Is there anything happening? Oh, it's so dark in here. Why can't I see anything?
Yep.
I'm assuming you heard I'm assuming you heard them yell at Kylo as well.
That doesn't answer
Did you
any of
hear?
my questions.
Well, did you? My question is, did you hear what Pietro said?
Probably not.
You were right behind me.
Was it?
Well, no.
somebody
They
in
were
here that-
upstairs when you came down. And that's when
Yeah.
Pietro spoke to you. So yeah, no, he wouldn't.
Oh, okay. My apologies. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So there's somebody in here that's trying to kill. Or Pietro said is dangerous and has a crossbow.
Oh,
Thinks they have a crossbow. They're somewhere. I haven't spotted them yet, but I just heard Rondak fire something. Would I have seen where Rondak shot? Because I mean, I'm looking.
Yes, you would have seen the big pile of the textiles and stuff like that.
Okay, it looks like it's over in that pile up there.
all right. Let me see if I can give you an angle, shall I?
That would be wonderful.
Balsam's going to make his way onto the open and go, hey, big scary crossbow guy who's a danger to everyone here. How you doing? Having a good day? What do you want?
I mean, he is locked in. I'm pretty sure Balsam, as again, to remind you, professional trained killer, you realize that a person who is likely sniping and banking on murdering your friends is not likely going to change his attitude and his disposition towards death and murder
No.
for this type
What
of
I'm-
conversation, for that
What
kind
I'm
of...
trying to get, is I'm trying to get him to at least reveal something, like become somewhat momentarily confused, sort of thing. Get a better aim for Kylo.
And you think that's gonna do it?
Oh, to distract him, to make a lot of noise, to make him go, "Who the hell is that?"
This trained hunter killer.
You don't know.
Pretty sure. I feel like I've communicated enough for it.
All right, all right.
I feel
That's
like
fine. If it doesn't-
I've built and established this character
Yeah,
enough
alright.
for that, and
Alright.
I mean, like, look, if that's the goal, I can work with you on that goal, on what could viably be a distraction. The
Yeah, let's go with that.
hey, how you doing is probably not going to do it.
You know what, I'm gonna stick with the "how you doing," and if the guy takes, Belsam will just make his position known. You know, if he wants to take a shot at Belsam, he'll open him up to Kylo or something like
All right,
that.
sure,
It'll be
very
fine.
well. You've provided another viable target.
Yeah. Pretty sure that's all I can do. Move,
Okay.
try to distract, that sort of thing. Yeah.
Do-do-do. All right, which then brings us to Pietro. All right, Pietro. Moment of truth. Oh, nope, you're gone.
Pietro will probably delay. Yeah.
Yeah, Pietro will delay. But I've ready. Okay, well, I'm gonna have to shoot. Oh, no, there we go.
Pietro's
Yay!
Yes, this was done well.
Oh no, that's okay. Do you need another minute? Cause I can just keep shooting you if you like.
Sure,
You
sure.
sh- you sure?
I'm-
Oh, okay. All right. Well, it is your turn. Why don't you go deal with that, and we'll I know what we'll do. We'll shift gears for a little bit. Okay. Go take care of that, and we'll hold out for a little bit. Okay. Balsam and Kylo. As Balsam pulls the attention momentarily from the hunter, make a society check, please. And actually, Rondak, you do this as well.
Not great.
That's not ideal. But Rondak, you do have a good 38, which I think is going to be plenty. Yeah, 31, 29 aren't going to be enough. So, Rondak, as he
Yes.
turns to face Balsam, you see a tattoo bearing on the neck of this guy. It is the House of the Greville Estate. A long time ago, you remember hearing about a Slavic noble family who were all wiped out by vampires. In this story, it was believed that there were no surviving members, and that the funds that they had accrued over a lifetime of being very affluent nobles who protected the people and serviced them through trade and commerce and the like, all of their finances and all of their resources were handed to a vampire by the name of Count Tyriak, as their holdings were basically forked over, and that whole region no longer belonged to that household. It was said that a member of the Grenville house had made an attempt on Count Tyriak's life, but was killed in the attempt to do so. It was a very public execution type thing. And the reason you remember this, Rondak, is because you yourself as an individual have done a lot of trade and the like with the vampires of Ustalav. It's how kind of you know Pietro in a way. But there is one rumor that persisted. Sorry, not rumor. What's the word? One order or instruction that had persisted, and that came from the Blood Mistress herself. She told you specifically, Rondak, that should the need ever occur, or should the opportunity ever occur, to find the body of the Grenville survivor to bring it to the island. The techniques and the methods that the Grenville have for defeating and killing undead are far beyond what the Red Mantis currently know. And as assassins, you aren't just responsible for killing the living, but making sure that certain undead stay permanently dead as well. The fact that one lone child could stand and cause problems for a vampire of Tyriak's affluence was of note. So your mission now, should you choose to accept it, would be to potentially try and capture this individual alive. Or you can bring their body and they can use spells and magics to ask questions.
Sweet. And I don't have a good way to relay that to the others right now either. Without screaming across the boat, which I'm not going to do. Yeah, so Rondek, I think, at this point, will pop out from where he's taken cover, hands up to show that he is unarmed. And when he gets out there, he's going to go, wait. I think we got off on the wrong foot. I think we need to talk. You and me. I can have the others leave.
Make a diplomacy check.
All right. I don't know if I'm any good at that. Let's find out. Oh, yeah. It's just a flat D20.
Okay.
11.
Okay, with an 11. He doesn't seem to be breaking his concentration. It looks like he is very honed in on killing Pietro. However, when Kylo comes out and doesn't present a target, I really have no other choice but than to shoot Pietro. All right, he is going to say, "I will not heed the words of an ally to these foul creatures. Not that hobgoblins have all that striking a reputation themselves."
Okay, hurtful. True, but hurtful.
It's like, hey, how dare you use the truth against me, you bitch.
Right. The truth hurts.
Fuck you. All right. Yeah, he's going to aim his crossbow and shoot Pietro in the face. Here you go, Pietro. Enjoy. Capew.
I'm back.
Welcome back. All right. Pietro, do you have anything you would like to do as you're about to be launched upon by crossbow bolts?
I'm sorry, I have to go back. I'm so sorry.
No, it's fine. It's fine. All right. The crossbow bolt flies out, and it hits Pietro in the chest. Rondak, you're kind of in the way as you kind of watch it fly. However, the bolt is silver, laced with garlic. As it hits Pietro, Pietro falls backwards. A dark spot appears in his chest. You hear the as a second bolt flies outwards. A second hit. And a third bolt. A third and final bolt. Ooh, that was close, but not a natural one. You know what? Let's use a jinx point. Why not? Just because I can. Don't need to, but I will. Ah, it's still miss. That's fine. All right. As the crossbow bolt hits, 2 of the bolts manage to land, and you watch as those blackened spots start to turn gray, and you watch as bits of Pietro begin to crumble like chalk. And that is where we're going to end today's session. The hunter, focused on killing the undead, potentially a poison lethal to those who share the blood of the vampire. What will this spell for our heroes? What will this spell for Pietro? Find out when we return next week for more Pray for Death. In the meantime, guys, thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for watching. My name's Michael. I'm the Dead Aussie Gamer. This is my place. This is my face. You can find it here a number of times during the week. We are back later on this evening for Gatewalkers, so be sure to tune in for that. And then Monday we will be back for Curse of the Crimson Throne, so yeah, that'll also be up on the cards as well. Thank you to everyone who donated for today's stream. You are fucking legends. Thank you to everyone who came in, all of our new followers, all of our new subscribers. You guys are amazing. And yeah, hope you enjoyed the show. Hope you enjoyed all this cool stuff. But in the meantime, as always, from us to you, until we meet again, stay kind, stay wonderful. No, sorry, what's it? Stay safe, be kind, because why the fuck not? It's free. And until we meet again, game hard or die trying. Good night, folks.